Sometime in every driver's life, you determine your driving style, how you stop, go, and turn. Even a lowly commuter has a technique, although it's more like operating an appliance. For a driving enthusiast, you have two choices. Aggressively turn in, rotating the car into the apex, or driving the car into mid-corner and aggressively throttling your ass out to the next break point. How you drive a car determines what you drive, more than any spec comparison. Let's see what all that means to this Nismo Z. I'm Leo Parente, this is FLD Tools. If you like to feel everything your car does, if you like a car that turns, and turns in aggressively, you're gonna like the Nismo Z. And you'd pick it way before a bigger Shelby GT500 or a Corvette because of the way it drives. Plus, there's the Nismo's $40,000 price versus the bigger bucks you'd need to blow on a tuned Mustang or a Grand Sport or a Z06. And this puts it light years ahead of a Porsche Cayman and an Audi. The Nismo Z is the essence of the race-tuned sports car, and few of those still exist today. The Nismo Z car is here to bring you the racing vibe of Nissan. But here in the US, unless you're my age, you'd never know that Nissan was the original Japanese racing brand. Mazda's Zoom Zoom BS aside, it was Nissan, and Datsun as it was first called, that owned the racing mantle, starting all the way back to 1970. And the Z car played a huge role. 10 straight C production road racing titles, GTU, GTO, GT1 championships. And the Z car won the Daytona 24, the Sebring 12, and the Le Mans 24 all in 1 year. Nismo was formed in 1984 to build performance and racing cars and parts. And Nismo spawned the GTR and Z tuning. So what makes a Nismo Z? The Nismo exhaust, the Nismo suspension, and that's a big deal. Plus 15%, plus 50% stiffer bars front and rear. Plus 15%, plus 10% on springs. Ray's 19-inch wheels and Yokohama Advan tires, performance tires. Brakes, bigger rotors, aluminum calipers, and optional Nismo pads. And then the bodywork that generates downforce, 150 foot-pounds in the back. But really, it's not for grip, it's to balance the car, to make it work better at speed. The Nismo tack and a shift light, and frankly, way too many Nismo badges in the interior. All this plus Nissan Synchro Rev Match, VDC, traction control, a carbon drive shaft, and direct injection. What the hell is this? A throwback to the old racing days, a real manual transmission with this shift lever thing sticking out of the floor. So the essence of the Nismo Z is all about race car feel. That means stiffer suspension. If you like the way a car feels, you're going to deal with the fact that this thing has a stiffer ride at low speed. But all of that race car-like technology kicks in when you get up to speed. And that's where this car really starts to shine and perform. Very secure, very sure where it's pointed. By the way, this Nissan has the Synchro Rev Match, which is an electronic control that blips the throttle for upshift and downshift to be smoother, allowing me to not have to heel toe. I hate it. Turn that thing off, match revs, let me do my job. Actually, it does the rev downshift with way too much throttle blip. Sounds like I'm heel towing with a club foot. Of all the parts in the suspension, what caught my attention were the stiffer shocks. Plus 40% stiffer in the front, 140% stiffer in the rear. And that means control. So when this car does its thing into a brake zone, the nose doesn't drop. When you throttle out of a corner, it doesn't squat too much to make the car unstable or undrivable. Control. Nismo brings control to this car. The Nismo Z is the perfect individualist car, built for a particular driving style, point and shoot. And it's the perfect baseline to build your car. At a $40,000 base price, a lot of money left over versus competition like the Shelby GT500, Corvette Z06s. And you can individualize, personalize the car, more power, more handling, more grunt, to keep up with those vehicles, and even go hunting after a Godzilla or two. Nismo Z. If you want a sports car, this is the sports car.